Now that is evading a major problem that scholars should address. Because if, for example, as in Bengal where I come from, or as in Java in Indonesia, people converted and said at one point, I'm a Muslim. That is a statement of difference which needs to be taken seriously and which needs to be studied. That does not mean that certain Hindu-Buddhist conceptions of kingship or various other cultural practices are not retained. Even when Tagore was visiting Java, living with local Muslim rulers, sultans, the Paku Alams and so on, beautiful silk scrolls depicting the stories of the Ramayana, or the princes and princesses getting together and performing parts of the great Hindu epic Mahabharata and so on. All that stayed. But when the moment of conversion happened, there was a statement of difference, and we as scholars need to acknowledge that and study that, and not just sweep it under the carpet in the name of syncretism. Now, this has not been very easy to do, particularly in the South Asian context, because, following up on the previous question, any resort to religion in India would often be seen as what is called communalism, which is the negative other of secularism. So secular nationalism was good, religious communalism was bad. Now what is genuinely bad is what I've just referred to as religious bigotry or religious prejudice. So breaking out of the, and this is quite important, I was bred in the Nehruvian secular tradition in my education, and I actually am very firmly opposed to any form of religious bigotry or prejudice. But I felt that we as secular educated scholars had left the entire field of religion open and uncontested to the religious bigots who were preaching hatred. That is why I keep using perhaps this complicated phrase, religiously informed identity, or religiously informed universalism, which I'm suggesting that there is another kind of religion which is not reducible to communalism in the pejorative sense of the term, and that it can in fact contribute to larger visions, broader, more generous outlooks. Just as, different religions coming together should not be seen as necessarily destroying some notion of indigenous authenticity or purity. It should be seen as an enriching process as it was, but an enriching process which does not mean complete uniformity. It's not just one. It's not easy syncretism, but the whole human challenge of negotiating differences to create richer meaning for human existence.
Time is 4:30. I'm very conscious of the time. Professor Bose, I must thank you for a very interesting afternoon. I am no historian. That's the weakest subject when I was in school. But reflecting when we say modern history, what one of my colleagues, my medical colleague, said to me, he's doing genomics. He's looking at the cohort, studying the genes. And so I asked him, how do you follow up the different groups and how do you find where they're coming from? And he said, that's his problem. How do I define a Malay? How do I find a pure Malay? I said, I don't know. We don't even know what is a Malay here nowadays. In fact, there's a book written on the Malays. It will make us more confused about the place rather than tell us more about the place. And I guess from my point of view, from my background, that Asia is very much the same. And that is, I suppose, is rooted in the universalism that you're talking about, if I can understand it that way. And if that is so, it would be the same in any region of the world, would it not be? I know I'm ending this with a question. We can continue, of course, at tea time. I'm sure many people would like to, and I hope we're not sitting down by ourselves. We let Professor Bose mingle so that others can have access to him and us. And I certainly at tea time would like to know some of these the things that are going on in this mind which cannot understand history. So may I, on behalf of UKM, thank you for very
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri, for graciously chairing the Q&A session. And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this afternoon with Prof. Sugata Bose. And as a token of our appreciation for your presence today, I now invite Yang Berbahagia Prof. Tan Sri Dr. Sharifah Hafsah, Syed Hassan Shahabuddin to present souvenirs to Prof. Sugata, Dr. Ho, and as well as Dr. Lan. Professor Dr. Sharifah Hafsah to accompany Prof. Sugata, Dr. Ho, Dr. Lam, and distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, to partake of tea at the banquet room, second floor, Chancery Building. Thank you and good afternoon. Chai Jen, jumpa lagi.
Semalam ada